Hello sports fans, it is Friday, May the 10th, the year 2013, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Let's start with the NHL playoffs from last night. Let's start with the Pittsburgh Penguins-New York Islander game, where the Pittsburgh Penguins go up 3-2 with a big 4-0 victory over the New York Islanders. This was the type of performance I was looking for from the Penguins. The goalie change did them very well. I mean, Fleury took a seat on the bench. Vokoun came in. Vokoun played well. Little shaky in the beginning of the game, controlling his rebounds, but he settled in, played well, got the shutout. Game didn't start off all roses for Pittsburgh. The Islanders had the better of the play in the first period, but then that breakaway goal by Kennedy in the second period really got the Penguins going. Then Nabokov for the Islanders gives up a terrible second goal. From there, Crosby scores to make it 3-0. Good night, sayonara, game over. Penguins win 4-0. Really, really nice effort by Pittsburgh. They found their mojo. Now, this series is not over yet. Pittsburgh has given back leads in the series before the Islanders. Pittsburgh won Game 1, lost Game 2. Pittsburgh won Game 3, lost Game 4. The Islanders are not out of this series. They go home back to the Nassau Coliseum. They could easily win that game and force a Game 7. And in Game 7, who knows? Anything can happen. And remember, if they go to a Game 7, they play on Sunday. They would play Saturday and Sunday back-to-back, so keep that in mind. So very nice job by the Penguins last night. Very nice job by Vokoun. I'll tell you, we've been so preoccupied with Fleury, the Pittsburgh goalie, we've forgotten about the Islander goalie, Nabokov. He's been terrible in this series, and unlike Pittsburgh, the Islanders have no one to go to. The Islanders have a young backup. They're not going to go to him in Game 6. Remember, DiPietro was sent down to the minors. Forget about him. The Islanders traded for Thomas, but he's sitting out the whole year. So the Islanders are basically stuck with Nabokov. He has played awful hockey. The second goal he let in last night was atrocious. That really put the game away last night. So Nabokov, very, very shaky. Don't like what I see at all from him in net. He's going to have to play a lot better if the Islanders have any chance of winning. I still don't think the series is over. The Islanders are gritty, they're gutty, they're resilient, they're going to play hard, they're going to probably play well. The Penguins are going to have to bring their A-game again to beat them at the Nassau Coliseum. So Penguins last night, nice win. They go up 3-2. Game 6 tomorrow night at the Nassau Coliseum. If they have a Game 7, it will be right back in Pittsburgh on Sunday. Also last night in Chicago, the Chicago Blackhawks beat the Minnesota Wild 5-1. Blackhawks win this series 4-1. The Blackhawks have been on fire all year. They are a major cup contender. Like what I see from Chicago. Very disappointing season for Minnesota. They started off slow, got hot, and then tapered off at the end of the year and had a bad playoff round here against Chicago. Little disappointed in Minnesota. Thought they might have been a surprise team this year. They weren't. Maybe next year they regroup. They're a little better. Chicago, though, looks like a really, really good team. Really, really solid in all areas. Definite cup contender. So Chicago moves on to the next round. They knock out Minnesota. Also last night, Ottawa goes into Montreal and plasters the Canadiens 6-1. Ottawa wins that series 4-1. What a tremendous job by Ottawa. How well is Ottawa playing? I mean, they just smoked Montreal in these playoffs. Ottawa coach has to be up for Coach of the Year. Ottawa had so many of their top guys out for a long stretch of the season, and they still made the playoffs. They battled. How good is Anderson in goal? Anderson in goal is a tremendous goalie. Very rarely gives up more than a few goals a game. He played lights out in this series, and Ottawa just buried Montreal. I mean, they hammered Montreal 4-1. So I really like what Ottawa's doing. I think the Ottawa coach has done a tremendous job. I would give him Coach of the Year. He's got to be up there with the job he's done holding the fort all year with all those injuries to Ottawa. Tremendous job by the Senators. They move on. They beat their arch rival, the Montreal Canadiens, last night. Also last night, no NBA last night, folks. There was no NBA for whatever reason. The NBA took the night off, so no NBA last night. As far as your Major League Baseball last night, Cleveland beat Oakland. Cleveland is now 4 games over 500. Did you ever think Cleveland was going to be 4 games over 500 at any point in this year? I didn't. Nice job by Francona, the manager. Oakland playing lousy ball lately. Washington beat Detroit 5-4. They had all 5 runs in the first couple innings, so Washington gets the win there. Yankees beat Colorado. Cano hits home run number 9. Minnesota beats Boston. Minnesota is actually one game over 500. That's pretty decent for Minnesota. They were atrocious last year. Tampa Bay beat Toronto. They win on a bases-loaded walk in the 10th. These are two teams that are struggling. Tampa Bay and Toronto, they both better pick it up because they are really struggling in a tough division. They got to pick up their play. Mets beat Pittsburgh. They take game 1 of a 4-game set against the Pirates. Pirates couldn't get a hit with runners in scoring position last night. Had men on base all over the place. Couldn't get a big hit. Arizona beat Philadelphia last night. Corbin goes to 5-0. Hamels for Philadelphia drops to 1-5. The Phillies are 16-20. Phillies had a nice start to the week. Took a couple games from the Giants, but now they've given a couple games back. Phillies still stumbling and bumbling. Holiday on the DL. We don't know if he's going to pitch again this year. They say he might, but even if he does, how well is he going to pitch? All sorts of question marks for the Phillies right now. Kansas City beat Baltimore last night. Guthrie 5-0. Nice job by him. Atlanta beat San Francisco. Should be a nice weekend series. It's a big 4-game set. Atlanta takes the first game. They got 3 more big games over the weekend. Should be tremendous baseball, San Francisco and Atlanta. And the LA Angels finally won a game. They beat the Houston Astros. Hamilton did hit a home run. He's getting a little hot now. The Angels finally won a game. Congratulations to the Angels. They finally beat Houston. They still have all kinds of work to do, the Angels. So that was kind of where you were as far as your Major League Baseball last night. As far as what to watch over the weekend, as far as tonight in your NBA, we do get some NBA tonight. After their off day yesterday, NBA resumes tonight. You got 2 games tonight. You got Miami at Chicago. That series is even 1-1. We'll see how Chicago plays from here on out. They stole game 1. They got blasted in game 2. They might have woke up the sleeping giant. We'll see how the series progresses from here. I would expect Miami to take care of business. Also tonight, San Antonio at Golden State. This series is 1-1 also. Golden State has had the better of the play for most of the first 2 games. Blew the first game when they had a 16-point lead, then came back and won game 2. Now Golden State is home court. The fans in Oakland tonight should be in a frenzy. Please try and watch this game just for the fans. The fans in Oakland are great. If you've never seen a Warrior game, please tune in. The fans are tremendous. The Warriors are going to give San Antonio all they can handle. Tomorrow in the NBA, you have Oklahoma City at Memphis. That series is also 1-1. Oklahoma City, not the same team without Westbrook. Memphis has a real shot to win this series. And also tomorrow, the Knicks in Indiana finally resume after having 4 days off. That series is also 1-1. Amari Stoudemire back for the Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to win this series. I think the Pacers are going to finally miss Granger in this series. Remember, Granger's only played 5 games this year. He's going to miss the rest of the playoffs. Pacers are going to miss his scoring. The Pacers can play great defense. They have trouble scoring sometimes, and that's where they're going to really miss Granger. He could give them an offensive punch. They're not going to have him. Knicks getting Stoudemire back. I expect it to be a good series, a long series. I think the Knicks are going to get through. All right, so that's kind of where you are in your NBA. Oh, and Sunday. Sunday, San Antonio at Golden State. That will be Game 4 on Sunday there. That's your NBA. NBA is very exciting right now. 4 series, all 1-1, so they're all competitive. As far as your NHL over the weekend, tonight you have Toronto at Boston. Boston trying to close this series out. Boston is up 3-1. Also tonight, huge game, New York Rangers at Washington Capitals. This series tied at 2. Rangers have won the last 2. Big swing game here tonight. Very important game. Also tonight, Anaheim at Detroit. Anaheim's up 3-2, trying to close it out in Detroit tonight. And also tonight, St. Louis at LA. LA is up 3-2, trying to close it out at home tonight against a tough St. Louis team. Should be very interesting hockey. As far as Saturday tomorrow, you have Pittsburgh at the Islanders. That is must-watch. Islanders trying to even it up at the Coliseum. And then Sunday, depending on what happens tonight, you might have Detroit-Anaheim Game 7. You might have Boston-Toronto Game 6. You might have Islanders-Pittsburgh Game 7, depending on what happens, over the weekend. And you'll definitely have Washington Rangers Game 6 at the Garden on Sunday. That's for sure. The other games are not set, depending on how these series go. That's where you are in your NHL. As far as your Major League Baseball series over the weekend, here are the series that are coming up over the weekend. Cubs at Washington, Cleveland at Detroit. That's turned into an interesting series because Cleveland's playing so well. Toronto at Boston. Toronto's got to pick up their play. Milwaukee at Cincinnati. Milwaukee's up and down. They can't win a game, then they can't lose. Now they can't win again. So Milwaukee at Cincinnati. Pittsburgh at the Mets. Plenty of seats available at Citi Field. San Diego at Tampa Bay. Also plenty of good seats available for that one. Angels at the Chicago White Sox. You talk about two teams that were good in years past that are not good right now. Angels, White Sox. Yankees at Kansas City. Very nice series. Kansas City's playing good ball. You want to talk about a beautiful ballpark. Kansas City with the waterfall in the back. You ever get a chance to go to a game at Kansas City, please do so. That ballpark is gorgeous with the waterfall in the back. Baltimore at Minnesota, not bad. Texas at Houston. I guess they're trying to make this a rivalry. Houston's got a long way to go until Texas takes it seriously. Colorado at St. Louis, nice series. Philadelphia at Arizona. Philadelphia is up and down. Oakland at Seattle. Oakland's been playing bad ball lately. We know Seattle has trouble scoring runs. Atlanta at San Francisco, fabulous series, probably one of the best series of the weekend. And Miami at the Dodgers. I'll tell you, if the Dodgers are ever going to get healthy, it's going to be against a bad Miami team. If the Dodgers can't beat Miami, they can't beat anyone. Also, good news for the Dodgers. Greinke ahead of schedule. Going to have a rehab start over the weekend. Might be back on the Dodgers next week. That is terrific news for the Dodgers. They need him in the worst way. Put him with Kershaw, maybe to get H. Ramirez back. Maybe the Dodgers start to put something together. Maybe Kemp starts hitting some home runs. Dodgers need to start putting something together right now. Don't lose the series to Miami. Go out there and dust Miami at home. Miami's an awful team. They can't score. Stanton's on the DL. No reason at all why the Dodgers can't win this series. I mean, to me, they should sweep Miami, at least take the series. So we'll keep an eye on that. Miami at the Dodgers over the weekend. So that's where you guys are. Oh, as far as one movie coming out today in the theaters, The Great Gatsby, that's with Leonardo DiCaprio. I read a couple reviews on it. The reviews all say DiCaprio's great in the movie, but the movie's not so great. But hey, don't take those people's opinion. Make your own opinion. So if you want to see a movie in the theater, The Great Gatsby is out today with Leonardo DiCaprio. DiCaprio is great in everything. We know he's going to be good. Who knows about the movie? Could be interesting. So if you want to see a movie, The Great Gatsby, out today in your local theaters. Okay, so you guys are all caught up. You guys, thanks for the support. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. Make sure you tune in to some of these games, especially the NBA playoffs, especially the NHL playoffs. I will be back with you Monday, and we'll recap everything that went on in what I am sure will be a wild and woolly weekend in the sports world. You guys, take care. Enjoy the games. Talk to you Monday. Take care.